Right, and welcome to another episode of Eat, Smoke, Drink. Today I'm going to take you through another artisan roast, Chilean roastery coffee bean today. So when you go to their website, they have two tiers of beans. One is called Origins, which is the white bags. They're cheaper. And the other one is called microlot. So the Origins are 250 grams and the microlot is 227. Obviously, they want the volume to go further because it is a more premium bean and it is significantly more expensive, the black bags to the white bags. So I want to try two. So I asked the guy, give me your absolute best foot forward bean. If I could only buy one bag, what would it be? And he said it's this one here, the Colombia Los Guayabos, Castillo, 1820 above sea level, and it is the SCA score of 87.25 microlot. So I got one, and let's see what it is like. Once again, I'm going to do, just for the sake of this, I'm going to do 5 grams. Come on, 5 grams, perfect, there we go. So I'm going to do 5 grams and let's sniff the bean. If you know what I'm saying, let's sniff the bean. The beans, as you can see, are darker color. There are a couple of lighter colors in there, obviously, you know, probably in the roaster. Not everything can be perfectly roasted. There are a couple of lighter colored in there. Like I can see in the bag, maybe 1 or 2. But generally speaking, it looks much darker than the average light roast that medium roast that I like, okay? But here's the catch. Here's the interesting thing. The smell is anything but. The smell is phenomenal. And I don't know what it is. I haven't smelled this kind of coffee much before. There is a distinct oiliness to the smell. Almost like a syrupy, viscous smell. It smells like dark chocolate, like taking lint, 80% chocolate off the shelf, breaking a piece, rubbing it on your fingers, and sniffing your fingers. Okay, that sounded more rude than it should have been, but it's not supposed to be. To me, it smells like black forest cake. Black forest cake with, let me just fish out that weird color. I'm going to do a little bit of coffee apartheid over here, but I'm going to do reverse apartheid like the South Africans. I'm going to pick on the lighter color skinned one and I'm going to discard it. There you go. So it smells like black forest cake with that cherry compote, that cherry jam with cream. Like if I tell you to close your eyes, that's the first thing you'll smell. Dark chocolate, cocoa powder, a slight smokiness, cherry and berry jam, fresh cream, but it's warmed up a little bit. It's starting to kind of turn a little bit, but it smells beautiful. It still smells sweet and creamy. It's got an intensity of smell that I cannot describe. I've only experienced this kind of sensation on the nose 3 times. One of them was in Mexico, the Pulvora coffee. One of them was back home. It was supposed to be the best coffee in the world. It was in a black box. My friend Sammy gave it to me and I forgot the name, but it was bloody delicious. And this one. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be a good coffee. I have no frigging clue, but from the nose, it is exceptionally unique and absolutely delicious on the nose. So let's see what the grind does. So I'm going to, once again, I'm going to do 1 to 16 just for teaspooning purposes. My grind is going to be a pour over filter grind, so it's not going to be an espresso grind. I prefer it that way so it's not too intense. I know that you can do it any other way you want really, but just for all intents and purposes of this video, I'm going to stick to a filter grind. Clean, didn't stick much, perfectly, 5 grams in the bucket. So, oh man, the nose is still there. This coffee's flavor on the nose is absolutely phenomenal. Anyway, let's put in our water. And I will see you in 4 minutes. All right, so the coffee has now brewed. Give it a stir, let it settle. And let's give it a smell. Oh, wow. Look, I don't even know how to describe it. The flavor of it, it is just like black forest cake. It is not burnt, but it is on the heavier side of the roast. But it's, I don't know if it was a fluke or if it was done so masterfully, but it is just glorious on the nose. It is roasted nuts, caramel. It's like when you go to a gala or a fair or something like that, and you have a trailer or a truck, a food truck, and they sell caramelized nuts, cashews, and almonds. I just smell some of that. It doesn't have a huge amount of fruitiness to it. What does it say it has? Okay, see, it says it's floral, granada, and whiskey. I don't get that. I kind of get the whiskey, but not really. I don't understand why they say that. It's a caramelized nut, black forest cake, cream, smells buttery, like a burnt butter, burnt brown sugar. Let's get sipping. Wow. Okay. The taste has, this is what's weird about it. The nose and the taste, there's a slight disconnect. The taste, there is actually a fair amount of acidity in that. And yes, I get the floral on the taste. I suppose the note is about the taste, not the nose. The notes. It's not about the smell, it's about the taste. I'm definitely getting a floral nature to that. In fact, weirdly floral. Weirdly floral. The theme of the darker roast and that black forest cake is still there, but it's definitely quite floral. There's a slight fruitiness to it. Passion fruit, overripe passion fruit. You know when the passion fruit starts to wrinkle, is it still okay to eat? And you cut it open, you're like, oh, thank the shit, it's still okay to eat. Passion fruit. I'm not getting the whiskey, and I know whiskey. I'm not getting the whiskey, but there is a certain sweetness to it, and I can see why they think it's whiskey. There's a certain sweetness to it. This particular coffee would be excellent in a tiramisu. I mean, this would elevate your tiramisu here. It would be fucking amazing for a tiramisu. Oh, wow. Rose water, still the caramelized nuts, a slight smokiness, dark chocolate, and I'm talking a Verona cocoa powder, dark chocolate, that dry but very, very nutty, heavy chocolateness. I don't know the word, heavy chocolateness. You know what, I'm liking this particular one. I am actually going to rest it a few more days, but I think it's ready for drinking. But I'm going to rest it a few more days and let it stew. Let it stew in its own juices, because I think it has a little bit more time to breathe. Well, when I say breathe, I mean to fart its CO2, whatever it farts. Wow, fantastic. On the nose, you don't pick up the acidity. It's all earth, chocolate, cake, that cake. But then on the palate, it is passion fruit, floral, jasmine. I'm even getting an orange marmalade, the orange peel. When you pick out the peel and eat the peel, candied orange. Fantastic. What a great bag. And I can see why this is his best foot forward, because it is absolutely phenomenal. It is actually phenomenal. I like it. I'm excited to try it, but I'm going to let it rest and then I'm going to try it. Until next time, make sure you eat, smoke, drink. Cheers. Oh, and caffeinate.